ты что включила? Ты не... Нет, ты показывала. Включил какую навигацию? Waze, а надо Google Maps.
У меня забит вот так.
In 1,000 feet, use either lane to turn left.
Hey, it's Otto Install Manager at Car Toys. Dan 2021 with a bang. We're hosting the biggest sale of the year. Free installation and free backup cam when you buy select Apple CarPlay receivers. Free speakers when you buy a Kenwood Bluetooth deck. And 25% off on kicker amps and Infinity speakers.
Turn left on Fairgrounds Road Northeast.
Installation and snag a free backup camera when you buy select Apple CarPlay deck starting at $229. Offer valid while supplies last.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Now, more of a Northwest News and Information Weekend on FM News 101 KXL.
On Everyday Wealth, Jean Chatsky with Soledad O'Brien, and from Edelman Financial Engines, Jason Cowan. So, Jason, we were talking about Bob before we went to break, and I gotta say, I love that you called him Bob, Soledad. My stepfather, who we just lost, was Bob, and we got him a t-shirt that we actually bought out of one of those airline magazines that said, "Of course I'm right, I'm Bob." Of course. And let's just assume that your Bob didn't have all the answers. He comes to you, he wants to retire at 55. What specific questions do you ask him? What pieces of information do you need to figure out if this puzzle will actually fit together, or if it's
In a quarter of a mile, use the right lane to keep right to Fairgrounds Road Northeast.
Is this a situational thing, or are you calling it quits? Because that's a big difference, right? And from his perspective, he said, no, I don't want to work ever again. I don't plan to work. I'm done. Okay. That's the backdrop. So now I need to look at your budget. Because I need you to look at what are your all-in expenses, mortgage, HOA, taxes, internet bill, car payments.
Keep right to Fairgrounds Road Northeast.
Right? Really look at what your true outflow is. Because I had enough conversation with Bob that I was fearful that he was not going to have the means of doing it. So I want to start fresh. I want you to look at your expenses. I want to go line by line and see, are we missing something that you're not thinking of? So we can have this conversation. Is this a realistic journey? Once I have the numbers, it's an idea of now let's look at where is this one?
In half a mile, turn left on Commercial Street Northeast.
What other source of income you have? I know that you don't have any. So now we're looking at this one piece in his IRA. So now we have to have the conversation of if you're going to be tapping into your IRA at that young of age, you're looking at penalties, you're looking at
Может
taxes.
быть, там из-за того, что это движение какое-нибудь, она
At your IRA,
дальше
what other
гонит.
sources? Can you look at downsizing your home? Is there some equity you can tap into? Bob is like saying that if things got worse, he just moved to Costa Rica and start fresh.
In 1,000 feet, turn left.
So really going through that line of questioning to say, I need to know the inflows and outflows, and I know it feels like a pain in the butt to ask these questions, but we're talking about a decision that's going to last the rest of your life.
Well, and those expenses are likely to change, right? I mean, there are a lot of unpredictable expenses that we don't know are coming our way when we're 55 years old, right? Particularly related to healthcare. I mean, we can put a pin in when we're likely to pay off the mortgage and when the kids are likely to go through college if they're on the four-year
Это и есть
plan.
коммерция.
Turn left on Commercial Street Northeast.
We just don't know. How much of your job, Jason, is to be a therapist? I mean, because it sounds like as you do the retelling of Bob's story, it's so emotional. It is. Like even as the trip to Costa Rica is very emotional, and I'm always, 55 to me feels like, I'm 55. It feels like I'm at the height of my burn, right? I've got kids who need to be financed for some stuff, and some in college, some just in school. I've got parents recently who just passed me recently, but up to
In a quarter of a mile, use the right lane to keep right to Oregon 22 East, Oregon 99 E-Business.
50s is kind of
прямо, если есть движение. Почему же нельзя?
It's killing sleep. And I got into that therapy role is, I think, is being comfortable.
Ну ты видишь, опять слушаешься его.
Keep right to Oregon 22 East,
Ну прямо,
Oregon
значит,
99
прямо.
e-business.
It's when we can do well, but at the same time, we have to sometimes be the train killer, and we have to be able to say, I know you hope this plan worked, but hope is not a plan.
Hope is not an investment strategy.
Exactly,
That's one of my money rules. Let's pause, Bob, for a second, and let's talk about Stella. Okay, and Stella is Bob's
По прямой дорога
colleague,
ведет на
and she was
221.
retired not of her choice, right? There are a lot of people coming through this pandemic, coming through the great resignation, who really didn't resign. Their jobs quit
Она
them.
туда же
How do you
выходит.
handle that?
And unfortunately, it goes back to that
Езжай
therapy
прямо,
session.
чё?
It's like we have to talk about that grieving
Кто тебе не
pattern
дает?
on, I know this wasn't your choice. Let's find the solution. Do you still have a skill set that you can
Бомж
for somebody
лагерь.
else at a reduced pay?
Use the right lane to turn right.
Are there other things we can be looking
А если мы не хотим?
А тут только налево, что ли?
Здесь только направо.
You have a part-time job of
Ну или перестраивайся, или сворачивай направо.
solutions that if you didn't want to leave and you think you still have some more to work, let's find that job, that passion project that we now
Red light
say
camera ahead.
we're destined to. Let's find that happy medium.
The data says that 72% of people plan to work in their retirement, but actually, the people who actually do work in retirement, that number is 30%. And you've talked about sort of the options. There are 4 options, I think you've said, that people can sort of maneuver around. What are those options?
So the four
Ну
options
потому что они
is
тоже тут
there's no
ездят.
magic bullet. There is choose to work longer. There is choose to spend less money. There is choosing to invest more aggressively. Or there is choosing to save, or some combination of those 4. And finding that optimum strategy. For example, most pilots are forced out at 65.
Ну видишь, машина впереди едет прямо. Значит, можно прямо.
And finding each client's particular no-go versus go strategies in those 4 is how we help them find the balance.
Well, and there's some danger in some of those strategies too. I mean, when you talk about investing more aggressively, the hair on the back of my neck starts to stand up, because if people are already investing in a way that makes sense for them, if their asset allocation, their balance of stocks and bonds has already been set intentionally, age appropriately, goal related appropriately, saying, hey, I'm just going to dial up the heat a little bit and get a little more aggressive. That can be a
А?
recipe
Я
for
говорю, каждый раз
danger.
Соловей
So
сгоняет,
we
да,
gotta
выезжаем.
look at what we can control. And even, I mean, personally, I'm 57, Soledad, I'm a little bit older than you. I'm certainly much older than Jason here. But personally, I think that this idea of figuring out a way to just keep a little bit of income flowing so that you can put off pulling money out of your retirement accounts as long as possible, so that you can bridge yourself to
Все светофоры, блин, красные.
Absolutely. Well, the thing that spend down early hurts the most, right? Because unfortunately, the longer you live, the more money you need in those later years. And like Soledad's story about her parents and her
Почти.
cost of care at the end. And so that's where we have to say, of those 4 components, it may not be today that we're building out for. It's, do we need to worry about you being self-insured for in-home care, or do we look at a long-term care policy? We have to find out how do we mitigate those
У нас
20-year
светофор
numbers, not just the 5-year
The
numbers.
cost of care at the end was insane. It was insane. And also, I think people
Вон где
really
не поворачивай.
I mean, Bob, does he have
Use the
kids?
right
Does he
lane to
have
turn
a
right on
husband?
Owen Street
Does he
South.
have someone? Because you actually also can impact the people near you and how much they're able to earn. Because maybe he could rely on his wife's or his partner's savings as well.
And so Bob in this situation is single, so he doesn't have someone he's particularly trying to leave the money. So the running joke is, if the last check you write bounces.
In 1.1 miles, turn right on Minto Island Road Southwest.
So that's me. So I'm trying to find that, hey, we have to think about all these different potholes along the way, that just dying with 0 is not a
Можно
goal.
уже
We have to worry
покупать, а
about
то сейчас
cushion of
нагреется.
cost of care. Let's bake that in now, right? If I know that
Убавил.
in Bob's situation, his father's still alive at 92.
Не успеем нагреться.
Bob, you're going to live past 92. And really, most people say, I don't want to live past 92. You may not have that choice.
I do. Listen, I'm happy to be the Betty White
Willamette
Right, and it goes hand in hand. We're going to talk about that, but one
River.
of the levers, Jason, was spending less, and that is getting a little bit harder these days. Inflation is raging like we haven't seen it for 30 years, thanks in part to some of the stimulus that's in the economy from the pandemic. We're going to dig into that as we come back for our next segment.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
A lot of people out there, Jason, who are just thinking, yeah, I need some help. Where do we go?
Visit our website at planetfv.com and download our free PDF on 10 questions to consider before you retire. But certainly, you can feel free to call our office at 833-PLANEFE, and they can put you connected with a local planner in your area.
Do it.
In 1,000 feet, turn right.
No plan. Please. I'll be right back.
More with award-winning journalist Soledad O'Brien and personal finance expert Gene Chatsky when we come back.
Turn right on Minto Island
Скажи, что
Road
не все
Southwest.
светофоры красные.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym,
In 800 feet,
avoiding
turn
stress.
right.
But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts in response to both of you. Result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our New Year's special. Save up to $1,000 on Sleep Number 360 smart beds, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Gentlemen,
Turn right.
you can find the best
Да
place
ладно,
for
господи.
you without even
Там еще
trying.
рано.
Just follow these easy instructions.
You've arrived at your destination.
Shop a personalized
Ну, прибыли,
store that
прибыли.
will work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2. Level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
CBS News Brief. Health officials fear the COVID surge is only going to get worse in the coming weeks, even with COVID being rampant. The Rose Parade did go on this morning, but with some stricter rules. KNX anchor Rob Archer.
Spectators eager to watch those floats go by after it
Народ
was
гуляет.
canceled last year due to COVID. This time, too, we're facing a big winter
Не, вон
surge of
там
infections. There are
полно.
some strict rules in place along the route, including requirements that people in the main grandstand be fully vaccinated or have proof of a recent negative test.
Hundreds have lost their homes in Colorado due to a
Вокруг
rare
чумить.
December wildfire.
We were very fortunate that the fire didn't reach to us. We found out this morning, but all in all, I mean, we had what we needed. We had each other, and that's really all that mattered.
And a New York City police officer is in stable condition after being shot in the head while napping in his patrol car between shifts. CBS News Brief. I'm Stacey Lynn.
It's who you turn to when you need to know.
Hi, it's Brett Raycamp, and I'm Veronica Carter from Portland's Morning News. Hi, Tim Lance from Portland's Afternoon News.
With Portland's
Lexus.
largest radio news team.
Не, это 350.
Квадратный. А у него квадратный Порш.
Zachary Barnes.
Как он? Порш.
Купец-то? Ну, у него Порш.
Квадратный.
Макан.
Ребристый такой. Фигуристый. У нас же твоя сейчас Кио тоже фигуристая.
Ну да, Женька сказала, что она бегемотика напоминает.
Она не угловатая, конечно, но фигуристая.
Как бегемотик. Собачками полно народу.
Жилетки, куртки, упарился, говорят.
Imagine what you can do with that money. Then pick up the phone and call American Financing. They're open now, and they're open nights and weekends, so they're always available when you need them. 800-777-8109. That's 800-777-8109. Or visit
Ну вот есть
AmericanFinancing.net.
свободное место.
American Financing, NMLS 182334, NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher because they know a lot of awesome stuff. I'll stand in front of the class
is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a serious defect of the immune system. Early testing gives children a chance to dream.
When I'm a teacher, my favorite
В это?
subject
Заезжай в
is
это.
Jeffrey Modell
Ну, заезжай в
Foundation,
то.
helping children reach for their dreams. Visit
Ну, то есть все
info4pi.org.
равно на две машины.
Now back to a Northwest News and Information Weekend on FM News 101 KXL.
Где там бревно?
Бревно впереди. Ты хочешь в него упереться?
With Soledad O'Brien, Gene Chansky,
Пары?
guest host